Welcome to In the Event. I'm Ashley Smith, your host. Today we're here with the Bayou City Arts Festival, and I have Melissa Fitzgerald. She serves on the volunteer committee. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Who produces and presents the Bayou City Arts Festival?
Well, the Bayou City Arts Festival is presented by Capital One Bank, and they've been the title sponsor for a couple years now. And they are produced by the Art Colony Association.
Okay, who is the Art Colony Association? Can you give us a little bit of history about them?
Absolutely. The Art Colony Association is a local nonprofit here in Houston. They produce these amazing high-quality art festivals. And some history about them, Houstonians that have lived here for a while will remember the Art Colony Association as the Westheimer Colony Association. And that was founded in 1971 by a group of artisans that just were really dedicated to beautifying the lower end of Westheimer. And in 1995, they changed their name to the Art Colony Association, and in 1997, produced the very first Bayou City Art Festival that we know it as today in Memorial Park.
So they have a very long history.
They do, they do.
When was the Downtown Festival this year, and where was it?
It was Saturday and Sunday, October 9th and 10th, and it was held at City Hall, on the steps of City Hall and the surrounding parks, CM Houston Park and Tranquility Park, as well as the streets in the surrounding area. So they kind of blocked them off, and the artists set up their tents, and it was just a really, really
pretty
exciting
big event.
Yeah,
huh?
it was huge. It was awesome.
What can visitors expect when they come to the festival?
First and foremost, they are there to see the art. There are 300 top galleried artists that are represented at the festival. But on top of that, there are performances, multicultural music and food, wine cafes, artist demonstrations. I mean, you name it, they've got it there.
Because I know when people hear just art festival, they just think they're just about to walk up and down streets and just looking at portraits and things like that. But there's so much more,
There's
like you just
so
said,
much
music,
more.
interaction, all kinds of things.
Absolutely, there's so much for them to do.
Is there a difference between the spring and the fall festival, or is it just the theme, the time of year, or do y'all actually have something different to showcase?
As far as the content of the festival, it's pretty similar. There's, there's 300 artists, there's cafes, performances, food, but really the main difference is the setting. So the spring festival is always at Memorial Park, and it's kind of a natural feel with the woods surrounding, and then the fall festival is always downtown. So you have the background of the skyscrapers and that sort of thing. So that's really the main difference between the two.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Who is this year's headlining performance group?
This year it was a mid-sized arts group called Wise Fool New Mexico, and just to give you kind of an idea of what they performed, it was a performance called Flexion, and it was on the steps of City Hall. There were these massive metal ladders, and they were suspended from them. There was aerialist acrobatics. people in stilts dancing, which is, you know, incredibly impressive to me because I would fall on my face on stilts.
Same here.
And they were dancing, and it was absolutely amazing. And they performed several times throughout the day so that people could see them at various times. And if you came earlier, you could see them later.
Oh, I'm sure they were exhausted by the end of the festival.
I'm sure they were.
Are they new to the festival? Is this something that this is their first time,
yes,
or have they been there?
This was their first time at the festival, so we were really excited to have them.
Wonderful. How are the artists selected? I mean, do they submit something beforehand, or is it something they just sign up for?
Every artist that you see at the festival has applied. So there's an application process. From there, it goes to a jury that's held at the Museum of Fine Arts. They review all of the applicants. This year, I believe there were about 1,200. It ranges, yes, it ranges anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500, and we get applications from all over the world. So they are.
Oh, so this is not just, you know,
this is not
local,
just local
artists.
No, absolutely not. It's all over the country and all over the world, and they jury those applications, and then they come up and they narrow that down to 300.
Wow.
So you're really seeing some of the best of the best.
Oh, most definitely. Yes. Most definitely. What types of art media are available for sale or viewing at the festival?
All kinds. Really, if you love art, you're going to find something that you like. They have jewelry, printmaking, painting, sculpture, clothing. I saw some kitchen utensils made out of wood. I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful. So there's really something for everybody.
Who do the proceeds from the festival benefit?
The proceeds from the festival benefit their nonprofit partners. There were 16 this year, and they're just local nonprofits around the Houston area. And all the money that is raised goes directly back to them to help them financially throughout the year.
What else? I mean, you named a few things that the art festival presents. Do they have anything specifically for children?
Yes, they do. The most exciting thing for children, besides just being exposed to the art and the performances, is the Creative Zone. And this year that was sponsored by Jexa Energy. And the Creative Zone is kind of like a one-stop craft shop for kids. They get to come and they can actually create a piece of art and then take it home with them. And there are 16 different crafts. There's like paper piñatas and sun photos and ornamental rocks. And kids get to interact with the nonprofit partners because each nonprofit partner will have a craft. So they get to kind of see the face of the people that they're supporting by being at the festival, which is
wonderful.
a
So
cool
families
aspect.
can definitely come out and be. It's a
absolutely.
family event for sure.
Definitely a family event.
Other performers who were there, and then can you give us a little bit of information about the chalk street drawings as well?
Absolutely. There was the other performers were there. There were mariachi bands, and there were jazz bands, poetry slams. You know, just in addition to Wiseville, New Mexico. And then the chalk street drawings were done by some artists from Via Colori. And that is,
I've heard of that.
yes, they're a wonderful organization from the Center for Hearing and Speech. And there were 4 artists that came out to this particular downtown festival, and they did chalk drawings at each of the entrances to the festival.
I love those.
It was
Those
amazing.
are amazing.
Yeah. So on Saturdays when they actually created them. So people that were walking in, that was the first thing they saw were artists live creating these chalk street drawings, and then they were there kind of signifying the entrances for the rest of the festival.
That sounds wonderful. I'm glad. Thank you for being here, because
Oh,
that gave me a lot of information as well. Because, like I said, I was just thinking that, you know, it was just about portraits and expensive art and things like that. But there's a wide variety of things there, and it's definitely a family event.
It definitely is.
Again, Melissa Fitzgerald, she serves on the volunteer committee with the Bayou City Arts Festival. Again, you're watching In the Event. I'm Ashley Smith. Thanks.